I used to be so stressed and anxious about money and finances and what tomorrow would bring, would I have enough next month, etc. But that was not a good way of living. It was quite stressful and it was not very satisfying. But then something happened in my life and it changed totally. So if you would like a life where you can be at rest and know that things gonna be okay, then stay tuned because I'm gonna share everything that you need. So today I'm gonna share 3 Bible verses that changed my view on money, finances, and provision in general in life. And now I can rest and I know exactly what to focus on to get all the things that I need. I used to listen to The Secret, books like that, and it's a manifestation, and whatever you do will attract this and that into your life. And that is absolutely a reality. That is the case, and it is working. But the problem with the books like The Secret is that it's taken out of the context where the Creator himself and God is removed from the equation. So we are allowed to create stuff and we can create together with God. But if you eliminate God entirely, it's not going to be good. And the negative part of it is that you will be responsible for any mistake you make. And I felt that too. I knew that it was too big for me. I knew that I didn't know everything. I didn't know what would come after A and B and then C and D, and I couldn't calculate all of that. I just simply felt that it was a too big responsibility for me being the one to find God's will, because I did believe in God, but I just didn't know that He was a good Father that actually provided for me and took care of me even if I made mistakes. So basically, I thought that I had to calculate and analyze and discern everything and make the right choices. That was God's will. And if I didn't, well, then I would be damned. It would be really bad and the situations in my life would not be solved. So it was a really harsh reality. The Secret and that kind of method simply did not work for me. And I understood quite early that there's something wrong in what they are saying and it's not the way to go. I'm Eden. I'm creating videos about the path with God, the life purpose that we have, and the abundant life that God truly wants us to have. And if you like that kind of stuff, then make sure to subscribe so that you can see more of my content. So God is a good Father. He cares about us and He can turn any situation into what is right. And what He's looking for is not for us to be God and to see everything and to be perfect, but instead He's looking for our intention. So if our intention is to truly serve Him and to do His will, then even if we are walking in the totally wrong direction, He will be able to just adjust us so that we turn around and end up where He wants us to be. Now that was the part that I did not understand earlier. I thought that I was responsible, and if I went in the wrong direction, well then too bad. That's damn you. But luckily, that is not how our God is operating. So basically, if your intention is to do the right thing, and you ask God, hey God, I really want to do your will here, but I don't really know what your will is. I think maybe it is going over here, so I'm going to take a step, and then if it's the right thing, then please verify it and open more doors, and I will continue to walk in that direction. But God, please, if it is the wrong direction, then turn me around, close the doors, make it so that I end up wherever you want me to be, so that your will be done, and so that I am doing what you desire me to do. Now, this was a revelation for me that was mind-blowing and changing my life, and I learned it the really hard way because I did not trust, I did not understand, but through a process I got to the point. I'm not going to go into the total story of that is for a different video, but today I'm going to share the 3 verses that have really truly been a blessing in my life, and that is proving that the method with intention, etc., is the best thing that you can do to make sure that your finances are taken care of, all of your needs, and even blessings and gifts, So the first Bible verse that I'm going to share with you is Psalm 127, and this is a beautiful and significant verse, and I'm going to read it for you. Unless the Lord builds the house, the workers build in vain. Unless the Lord is watching over the city, the guards stand watch in vain. In vain you rise up early and stay up late, toiling for food to eat. For He, God, gives all of these things to His beloved while they are sleeping. Now, if you check out the Bible for that verse, it's written a little bit different in the end, but there's a footnote that explains that that's what it means. So basically, this verse is telling us that if God is not in it when you are doing it, if it's not His will, if it's not His initiative, it's not what He wants you to do, then whatever you do, it's gonna be wasted. And maybe you are building a house, or you are, building a project, or you are advancing on some kind of stuff, and you are putting so much work into it. Well, if it's not within God's will for you, it's not gonna last. Maybe it's gonna look good for a long time. Maybe it's really gonna be promising and it's so fantastic in your eyes. But, through experience, I've learned that it doesn't work, it doesn't help, it doesn't last if God is not in it. So this is how we can waste a lot of time and work really, really hard and get nothing back from it. But this also means that it goes the other way around. If you are in His will, if you are doing exactly what He wants you to do, if you are following His call and doing what He is prompting you to do, then He will provide to make sure that you will be able to do so, and He will even do it while you are sleeping. Now, giving something to somebody while they are sleeping, that may mean, more than one thing. It could mean that while you are sleeping, God is actually just providing something that suddenly pops up in your life. It's ready, it's manifested, it is physical and tangible and simply a blessing. But giving something in the sleep could also mean that you get dreams and information, like a great invention, the next step in your path or in your work, etc. And through that, you know exactly what to do, and you're gonna shortcut the path to your goal and get to, the end result much faster. If you think of Moses and the Israelite in the desert, they were walking for 40 years around the mountain. And the entire journey could have taken, I don't know if it was a few weeks or whatever, but it was really, really not a long journey, honestly. But they were not ready to get to that end result. They had not grown on the inside, and they were not doing the right thing inside or outside, doesn't matter. If they were not in the place where God wanted them to be, then He would prolong that journey. The fastest way and the shortest way to get anything in life that is good is to do the right thing first. And when listening to God, when seeking Him, the chance of you doing the right thing first is so much greater. Now, you may ask, what is God's will and what is God's purpose? And the Bible tells us a lot about what He wants and the great purpose of reaching out with the gospel and saving souls and all of that. But in addition to those, big lines of what His purpose is, He also has personalized callings and purposes for each individual. Now, some people have a more specific calling than others. Some just have to do this thing, while others have, flexibility to choose this way or that way. And so if you want to know more about your personal calling, your purpose, and you'd like to identify it, or you'd like to know more about how to actually take the steps to get there, I've just created this free mini course that you can see a link for below, so check it out if it's relevant for you. So we know that those who are God's beloved will be blessed and will receive stuff even while they are sleeping. So what exactly does it mean to be one of God's beloved? I'm going to read another verse for you, and that's one that is kind of building on the other one, and it is confirming it, and this is the second Bible verse that is of importance. This is Deuteronomy 33, and I'm starting on 12. About Benjamin he said, "Let the beloved of the Lord rest in him. For he shields him all day long, and the one the Lord loves rests between his shoulders." Now, what do we have between our shoulders? Well, that's where we have the heart. So those who rest in God's heart will be shielded and protected and taken care of all day long. Now, you may say, but doesn't God love everyone? Isn't he good to everyone? He's not supposed to have favorites, is he? Well, the thing is that God does love everyone. However, some of us are closer to him simply because we respond to that love. He pours out our love to us. Some of us are just rebelling. Some of us don't want to listen. Some of us love him back a little bit. Some of us love him a lot. And that is when there is a mutual love where you put God first. You love him so much that you put him above everything else, including yourself and your own well-being. And that is what we do with the people that we love. And also, you put his will and his desire and his purpose higher than your own will and whatever you wanted to do. And if you've been long enough in this world, or you don't, it's not really a matter of time, but it's how you spend that time. And if you have been around enough to realize that anything and everything in this world is really not that valuable, it is kind of vanity, and the true values and the true joys comes from God and his presence. Once you've had a taste of that, you simply don't want that much of the world any longer. And as you progress in your purification process, coming closer to God and cleansing out more of the world, the less you desire the things that are in the world, and the more you will desire just God. Just God. And that doesn't mean that you can't have fun and eat chocolate and, do silly things and be around people, etc. Absolutely not. But it's about priority. What do you seek first, and what do you set highest in value? And where do you seek your resources and advice and the path and purpose and everything from? If that is God and you truly want to do what he wants you to do, then he will truly set you first also. And that is when we get into the beloved part. He loves everyone, but if you set him as the first priority for real, in truth and in spirit and in your heart, not with your lips, but in reality, then he will do the same. He will put you first and make sure that you have everything you need, that you are shielded and fed and clothed, etc., etc. So what I'm saying basically is that if you trust God and love him with all your heart and put your focus on him, then you will be taken care of in every way. And maybe you say, but you can't just lean on one Bible verse like that and say that that's how it is. And for that reason, I'm going to share the third Bible verse now, and that is confirming the first one in a different way, but it's basically pointing to the same thing, that you can completely relax if you want to do what God wants you to do. So what I'm going to read now is Matthew 6:31-33, and it reads like this. So do not worry, saying, what shall we eat, or what shall we drink, or what shall we wear? For the pagans run after these things, and your Father knows that you need them. But seek first the kingdom and his righteousness, and all these things will be given to you as well. So we see once again that if you put God's purpose and love God more than anything else, everything else will fall in place in your life. You will be taken care of. And I think that is such a wonderful concept, that if you put something higher, somebody outside yourself, higher than yourself, you sacrifice yourself, you want to do good, you want to do what is right, you want to be righteous, you want to follow the commands that he has, you want to follow the guidelines, you also want to follow the personalized, messages or prompts that you get when God wants you to do something, you do it gladly. And when you get into that flow, you will have the house, the food, the drink, the clothes, the car, whatever you need to do what is called you to do. And whatever he calls you to do, he will certainly provide for. So it is a way for you to find a place where you can totally rest in his hand. And even if you are in a difficult situation, you can simply know that as long as you put him first, and sometimes that means also putting other people's around you first, then you will be taken care of. Now, if you are focused on money and finances and the way of living a practical life with God, being taken care of and all of that, then I have recently created a video about how God taught me the slow living key to a healthy work-life balance. So I put some videos on the screen here now, so you can click if that is interesting for you. And with that, I just want to say take care, be blessed, and hope to see you soon again.